Hey everybody, it's John James Hale here again, and I am pretty excited to have got my hands on this set. It is the WWE Elite Hall of Fame, the Heenan family. I guess I was mostly excited for the Bobby the Brain Heenan figure right here. He is very articulated, and the likeness is great. The only thing is, I don't think any of these guys were actually in the Heenan family at the same time. I know when he was managing Big John Studd, Andre was a face, and they battled at WrestleMania 2. I think it was WrestleMania 2, or is it WrestleMania 1? One of the early ones. They had a match for a body slam match for a certain amount of money, which Andre won, and then he turned on Hogan for the setup to WrestleMania 3. John Studd kind of disappeared out of the picture. Bobby was then managing Andre, and Kurt came a little bit later down the timeline, maybe the late 80s. He may have still been a part of the stable when Andre was in it, but it was at the really tail end of his career when he was about to retire. And on the back of the box just shows the likeness of the wrestlers inside, which it would have been nice if they had maybe some little bio or some stats or something on it instead of just this really basic imagery. And one other thing I don't like about this set, I mean the figures are great, but they've been making them for so long. I don't know why they didn't include any extras. They could have had Mr. Perfect's towel, or been cool if Andre would have had like Hulk Hogan's necklace, or they came with the duffel bag. But I can't complain too much because I've been wanting an Andre and a Big John Studd figure, and they're both in here, and the Bobby the Brain figure is fantastic. So if you just give me a second, I will take them out of their package. We'll take a look. Okay, I'm going to start here with Bobby the Brain Heenan, since he was the main reason I wanted to get this set. It looks like he's in his WrestleMania 3 attire when he took Andre down to the ring. I really like the paint. He has all these little gold accents on his outfit. The gold little cummerbund, gold bow tie, some nice little work on his shoulders here. See if I can get that in so you can see it a little bit better. So he's got a lot of gold paint work on him, including the stripes down his pants. And the face likeness is really, really well done. It looks like Bobby from the 80s. Brings back a lot of nostalgic memories. The only thing is, one eyebrow goes way farther over than his other one, but it's not that noticeable. But it's still a little weird. His hair is almost perfect, and he does have the elite type of articulation to him. So he can look up and down a little bit. His head does move side to side. It can spin all the way around if you really wanted it to. His coat is made out of a softer plastic. It could be removable. It'd probably be pretty hard to do and not really necessary. He has ball jointed shoulders. He has upper arm at the bicep rotation. He has a jointed elbow. He has rotating and hinged hands with his wrists. They're both in gripping. And then he has the ab crunch, which is pretty much the big feature that is different from the basics to the elite figures. He doesn't crunch forward very well, but he does go back a little bit. He is a little bit paunchy, which is good because he's a little bit older at this point in time in his life, and he has a pretty good waist swivel. Let me see if I can get this cummerbund out of the way. His one leg goes out. There it goes. That's a stiff joint. So he does have quite a lot of movement in his hips. They go pretty wide. He has some upper thigh rotation. His knees can bend. He does have double jointed knees, which is pretty amazing. And he does have some his ankles look like they're on ball joints, so they're pretty flexible. So overall, Bobby the Brain Heenan, great figure. probably the best one in this set. He makes me extremely happy to have him. I was always a big fan of him. The Heenan family was probably my favorite stable of villains, because I was not, when I was growing up as a kid, I was not a Hulk Hogan fan. I always rooted for the guys that were his opponents. Hopefully they'll release a King Kong Bundy. I know there's been one out for the Legends line, but that one's really expensive right now. And I really want a King Harley race, which I think would be great to have. Maybe one of these days we'll get it. And then we have a Curt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, in his orange attire, which he usually wore the orange or the blue. Has the black on the back of his singlet. He has one gripping hand, one punching hand. He has these humongous knee pads, a little bit of paint splotching on his thighs, which I might be able to get off. Absolutely gigantic knee pads. Let's see if I can get him on his knees. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit better. He has, I believe, the exact same articulation. Not a bad likeness. I mean, he looks like Curt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. Just a little bit goofier. Not bad. He does have longer hair, which kind of hinders his articulation a little bit, but you can get his head turned pretty far. Yeah, it looks up barely at all because of the hair. He does look down, not really. But again, he has the same shoulders, biceps, elbows, wrists. He's got a better ab crunch waist. He has different hips than Bobby does. They do still go out amazingly far. And he does have the upper thigh, knees, Mr. P on his boots. And he has the same, well, his aren't ball jointed, but they're on little pegs. But they're stiff, but they do move. Oh, I don't think I mentioned these are were the Toys R Us exclusive figures. And we just have the boot cut, which is always nice to have. So there's Curt, who should be a little bit taller than Bobby. And he is. And then we'll go back to Andre here. Let's see, I'm going to have to back him up a little bit, because he is Andre the Giant. One of the all-time legends. He has a painted-on blue singlet, which I don't remember him having blue very often. That's kind of a bummer. They didn't line it up very well on the back of his singlet. Got this weird little gap here. They could have done that a little bit better. I'm not going to complain too much. He has this crazed look on his face. The likeness of Andre's pretty good. Looks like him a little bit older. They got the chops really well done, though. He did make that face a lot with those crazy eyes, so I can't complain too much about that. He is a little bit more ample of a figure. Man, that's really goofy. I might have to see if I can match that color blue, because it's just this random triangle on his back. That's pretty annoying. Pretty annoying, guys. That he stands on his own. I think he has all the same articulation as well. His head does have a little bit better movement. He has a ab crunch that moves. He has the same kind of articulation. He has two open hands. His ab crunch is pretty big. He does swivel at the waist. His hips go super far. He does have the same thigh swivel, and he has the double jointed knees as well, so you should be able to get Andre in quite a lot of poses. At least he has an open hand, because he did like to choke a lot, so you can have him strangle whoever upsets him that day. Now he should be the tallest of all the figures, so he is a whole head taller than Curt, and he is much taller than Bobby. who's tipping over on me here. Stand up there, Andre. And you too, Bobby. And the last one in the set, Big John Studd. Glad to have him too. He almost stopped. He pretty much stopped wrestling right when I was starting to really get into wrestling. He does have this crazy painted on chest hair. He's another one of the taller giants of the early 80s. Very nice face sculpt on him. The likeness is great. Really reminds me of Big John Studd, so can't really complain too much about that. He has all the same articulation as the others. He also has a choking hand and a gripping slash punching hand, so he looks like he has the same arms as Andre does. A little bit thinner upper body. Andre's got much longer legs. He can turn his head. Oh, I can't even see him because he's so tall. Can't turn his head, and it does go. Nah, it doesn't really move a whole lot. He has the same double jointed knees. Yep, and they have the stars on the sides of his legs that are correct. He did wear flat or boosts, I'll say, in his boots because he was slightly jealous of Andre because he always wanted to be the biggest big man. So a lot of times he would put extensions in his boots, and he ended up taking a lot of growth hormones that really changed his appearance over time, just so he could kind of keep up with Andre. But he should be just a little bit shorter. Let's see, he should have to look up at Andre still, which he does. Kind of like that classic WrestleMania moment. Nice paintwork on his boots. So let's see, so Big John Studd would be there, and then Andre here, and then they are in their ascending height order. Definitely my favorite figure out of all of them, out of this box set, is the Bobby the Brain Heenan. Very well done. The Kurt's not bad. His face is just a little goofy. Big John Studd is a great figure too. Andre would be if they didn't have this very odd, weird flesh patch where his singlet's supposed to be on his back. Still glad to have these guys. He has he's kind of bow-legged on that one leg there. I'm going to play with that. But anyway, if you joined this, or if you enjoyed this at all, let me know. Give me a like and a subscribe. If anybody else out there has picked this set up, let me know in the comments if you have this weird splotch on your Andre. It's really disappointing. Thankfully, he'll be looking this way on my shelf, so he won't really see it, so I might not have to do anything to it. But, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again. Bye.